to start by putting something on the floor, something soft. Lay the chair on its back. It won't hurt the hydraulic pump or anything. And now the best thing to do would be to remove the 4 screws for the seat cushion with a Phillips head. And there's just 4 screws right here. One here. One here. And this is for a pump change. And there's 4 screws. And this one screw here is slightly behind the reclining lever. Just hold the lever down and go in and remove it. And pop all your screws out. It's loose, I just gotta get my finger in it. Okay, put your chair back up. Cushion. Probably best off, take it right out the back. Go that way. Front. You can always recline it. Make it a little easier. And just flip it straight up. Put it out of the side. Now your pump is right here. There's 2 ways you can take the pump out. You can take these 4 screws out, or you can take this 1 bolt out if you have a couple people. You always want to lock the foot bell, so spin the chair where you want it, lock the foot bell, and if you pull this bolt, you should be able to take the pump right off without having to pull the plate. You're not going to. Where's your hammer?
Huh?
Hammer. To change the pump, we gotta lock this foot bell. We gotta make sure this is down. It just makes you don't have to lift it as high. Lock the foot bell so you're not lifting the pump shaft. You can either take these out and then knock this off with a hammer later, or if you got a couple boys, you can pick it up and just give it a whap. And the pump, okay, set that off to the side. Okay, Phillips screwdriver, pop the cap. You may have to pull this pin out. This is just, this bolt and washer on the top is just a safety device so that, okay, lift the cap. And now there's the pump. So, flip it over, undo the bolts, and now you can have your white cover on the other side. So you want to hold this a little bit when you pop this apart so we don't scratch anything. And slide this out of the way. Our pump with our white cover is right here. It was in this groove. And we're going to lift this out, top, and put a new pump in it. If you ever want to maintain the pump, put oil in it, the fill is here for the oil, and the adjustment for the brake is here. So if you ever want to adjust the brake, you can actually do that. You actually adjust the brake while it's on here by just pulling this white cap off. Pull the white cap off, you get a hold of the brake, and you can loosen it or tighten it. It depends upon whether this doesn't tighten enough. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put our new pump on. We have to put this on first though. So we're going to set that there, and we're going to do it this way. Because we need to get the screws lined up, and it's not that difficult to get the screws lined up, but it's easier if we just do it upside down. And put this back in there, and put this back on. So what I have is I have 4 screw holes, and I'm just going to balance here a little bit. Now it's just a washer, lock washer. These are 8 millimeter, require a 6 millimeter wrench. And kind of get started. Get it lined up again. These are pretty much standard, all this bolt pattern on these pump plates and bases. And you just kind of, once you get them started, you can kind of just get them lined up. And get this lined up. And once it's started, we can kind of lay it on its side. It's just as easier to get the bolts lined up here while it's in this direction. Typically, you'd want to just snug them up a little bit here and then lay it on its side so you get a little better control. Alright, now I'm going to lay it on its side. Watch out for the foot pedal. And just tighten it up. You should tighten them across. That's usually the way you tighten anything that's got a circular pattern to it. It's crossed and then crossed again. You don't have to kill it. They do have lock washers on it. And cross, so they're pretty good. You can just go around check it. So they're all about the same. Okay, and what I want to do, we now have that on there. We want to put this back in here. This little hole is going to line up with that hole. Got to get around the pin. Make sure this is all, just basically everything sits here. And we'll put our screw back in. So this is all sitting on this cover here. Okay. Make sure when you pump it up that the pump shaft is not touching this cover, or you'll get a squealing up and down, wondering where it's coming from. That's pretty common on like a styling chair or anything. Typically you can just grab it a little bit. So I'm going to put this up in the air a little bit. I'm going to lock it. We're going to set. Okay. We're going to set our chair back on here. And there's a pin there. So this will wobble until we get it around so it drops on the pin. I got it. Okay, there. Now it's dropped on the pin. You can see where the pin is under here. And really, theoretically, the chair will function, it will lock, it will get tighter and tighter and tighter on the taper, male taper to female receiver, and it will get tighter and tighter. But for safety reasons, what they do on barber chairs and sometimes on all-purpose chairs is they put this safety thing on here, so if the boys pick it up by the arm, they don't take and have it drop on their feet. So this will just go on, snug, 17 millimeter wrench, just snug it up a little bit, you don't have to kill it. And we're going to put our seat, I'm going to loosen the foot pedal again, spin it toward my cushion, get rid of all my tools. I don't want to scratch anything. And we're going to set the seat cushion back on it. So that'll just drop in there. Get it close and let the blanket up from underneath. And there's some little side rails here. These little side rails. There's one here and one there. And it's kind of held in place by the cushion and a couple of screws. This one was actually a little loose, but it doesn't. And we're going to screw the cushion back on. And probably the hardest thing here is lining the screws up. Although it might be easy, I don't know. First time I've ever done it in this chair. So there it is. And it goes right in there. And this one goes in here. Now, theoretically, once you get one started, you're going to be pretty much in the right location. And we're going to have okay, I'm about to get a flashlight and the seat cushion screwed back on. Put it up. You can actually put your chair back up, and then you should test your pump. And you should actually test your pump before and after. With any new pump, you want to pump it all the way up, and you want to pump it all the way down. And you should do it 3 full times, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. At the end of the day, with a person in the chair. So if there's any air in the pump, it's going to be mixed in with the oil, and then by having it in the down position overnight, the air bubbles in the oil reservoir will rise and be eliminated, and you should have a good functioning pump. And that should be it.